Hello everybody. Today I'm here with the third set of levels for Dr. Mario World. And again, I didn't find any of these to be too difficult. Some of them took a few tries, particularly the second one and the fifth one, but other than that it went pretty well. But there are some very annoying things about the second and the fifth one that I will get to. I don't know, they really know how to make some levels frustrating. But this first one was not too bad at all. The entire gimmick is that you continuously spawn in more electric bombs, and you can basically entirely rely on the electric bombs to do everything for you. I'm not sure if they can actually hit the bubbles on the doors or not. I don't think I ever really tried, but the doors end up lining up so that you can hit them yourself, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. I also want to mention here, since this level kind of takes a while, it's the same thing over and over again. You may have noticed that for me on the lives it just says play, and it's got like an infinite amount of lives. I don't have 10. And maybe that's for everybody, but I'm pretty sure what the thing was saying was that if you've ever made an in-app purchase in the game, that you're able to play it as much as you'd like at this time. Before the game ends, you can play as much as you want as long as you've ever made a purchase on it. And that's a really nice thing for them to do, I guess. And for this final world then, it just means, you know, I can just keep playing it until I beat it, which is also pretty nice for video's sake. And you may be wondering when I spent money on it. When it first came out 2 years ago, back in like August, I think, when I was trying to beat the special stages, I didn't have any diamonds at the time, so I spent money on some diamonds to get a free continue and beat those special stages. And that was probably a bit foolish of me, but I guess now it kind of works out. But I typically don't spend money on games ever. I kind of am against it, honestly. Especially on mobile games, I suppose. I think in-app purchases are kind of messed up. So I try not to allow myself to do it. And this is the only game I play in the last many years that I actually made in-app purchases. There are very few in-app purchases I've made in my lifetime, so I'm a little bit ashamed, but like I said, it helps me to get the infinite amount of lives. So now here's a level that I think is pretty important to talk about. This stage has a lot of extra capsule pieces that are only +1, and while that might not seem all that helpful in the long run, it's going to be really crucial for you. So I would suggest whenever you're about to hit a electric bomb that you have a bunch of capsules ready so that you can start destroying some of the extra capsule pieces and get some more. Because at the very least you can replace a capsule that you just used. And hopefully then you hit a purple coin with it or something, you know, stuff like that. And the goal is really to end up with just a few more than you had before. I really messed up there. I should have just brought out the reds, but I was getting some more ready for the next wave, which also really isn't that necessary. You don't really need to get any ready until you're actually going to hit the electric bomb. And actually, in the final scrolling part of the stage, if you have too many capsules out, you will get a game over. I lost like a few rounds just by that, so do not have any capsules out when you finish this one here. And this one you can just... I just typically go for the purple coins in the middle and hit any of the capsules that come out along the way, and then leave the electric bombs for a little bit later so they can destroy some of the purple coins for you. And then you should just have a few more left at the end of that. Let me go down to here. Like I said, do not have any extras out. If you get any single capsule pieces from the previous one, I would recommend bringing them into these other sections that are hard to get to, because you're going to need a lot of them through this section. So if you can have some ready so you don't have to waste any capsules, now is the time to do so. And even though I have 38 with this final section, I'm going to end up using the majority of them. So keep that in mind too. But you're going to want to start out by getting all the electric bombs. You're not going to get any more extra capsules in this section. It's just not going to happen. I suppose if you bring in a character that can randomly hit specific areas, but with Wario it won't happen. And then you gotta get all the purple coins, so hitting once in each area there, and then you gotta hit all these purple coins. Now if you make it all the way to this section here, and you destroy the 2 bombs in the corners of the end of the stage, you are going to lose. If you bring in Wario, I guess. With another character, it's technically possible you can still get it. But if you leave those purple coins trapped in between the end of the stage and the 2 blocks, you cannot get to it. And I got a game over because of that, and it was very frustrating. So don't allow that to happen. Leave the bombs so you can destroy the purple coins at the end. Seriously, do not make that mistake. It is very frustrating. I kind of wish they didn't do that. They didn't have to do it, but they did it, so he would have had to hit that area around the blocks in the corners anyway, so I don't know why they didn't just leave them open or something, instead of forcing you to get a game over if you do that. It's just kind of an annoying thing to do. I really wish they hadn't done that. But we move on. That one took a little while, but I finally got it. This one was my first try, so I quite enjoy the stage. I think it's pretty fun. There's only blue and red caps or viruses, and for the most part they're going to line up really nicely. So when you go to this section here and destroy these blues, the red should line up as well. And you want to destroy the purple coins that are in the section you're working on before you move on to the next one, so that you can destroy the purple coins as you go, so you don't have to go back for them later. I mean, it's just a fairly sensible thing to do. I end up just placing a double on top of these purples to get rid of them easily. And then you kind of just have to debate how you want to destroy these upcoming sections. And sometimes you make the right choice and sometimes you don't, but either way it shouldn't be that big of an issue. And yeah, you just kind of keep working your way down over and over again, and there's just kind of a different way for the viruses to be set up each time, which makes it feel a little bit different each time, and they introduce bombs and stuff. I just thought it was fun to go through. Not too much of a challenge. And pretty satisfying to clear stuff in this way. Either way I would have destroyed that. There would have been a blue in the middle. So probably didn't matter what my decision was there. And now we're at the final section with the purple coins and everything. And I think it's pretty clear I'm going to get 3 stars as long as I don't waste too many capsules at the end here. And there are a few viruses stuck in the blocks yet that I can destroy. I was hoping that one would be blue, but it was a red, so we had to use a couple more capsules, but we end with 12, which is just way more than I would have needed. And we complete that one fairly easily. And then we move on to this one, and I beat this one my first try as well. At first this one seems like it's going to be really tough, and I feel like, I suppose the placement of the viruses is random, so maybe I got some lucky lineups, I don't know. But they're only bubblers in the first 2 columns here. So once you get all the viruses out of there, you just have no chance of anything getting bubbled. And I'm guessing that those 3 blues in a row aren't always like that. Because of that, I was just like, I evaded those bubblers right away. I didn't have to worry about the lock getting bubbled or anything. Which I think is an entirely feasible thing to happen, since all the other viruses are going to be caged. So, actually that's not true. There are some that are uncaged, so they would probably get bubbled instead. And here you're forced to have some bubbled, and you can see that one red one on the right side did get bubbled. But now that all the viruses I need to clear are away from the bubblers, it's just like no more are going to get bubbled. So at the rest of the stage is just kind of just clearing it at your own pace. I just have that one yellow on the left side yet to get. And the lineup here was a little more difficult to get through because not a lot of caps or viruses are lining up to be similarly colored. So I kind of have to go one by one. But then the final ones here, 2 yellows and 2 reds next to each other. And the crates don't matter. There are no blocks to hit, no coins. It's just clearing viruses until they're all gone. And I cleared it with 9 capsules remaining, 3 stars already obtained. So you should be fine on points, I would assume. no matter what you bring in. Just end with a good amount of capsules remaining. Maybe Peach would be good. Wario worked out just fine. I don't know. Whatever you'd like to do. The thing with Peach is she might hit a line of viruses before they're uncaged, and that's going to really mess you up. It'd be pretty frustrating. Since there are a few uncaged, she has the ability to do that. So the beginning of this one is just kind of clearing things as they come. Throughout the stage, you really are going to want to save as many capsules as you can, because once it comes to the end, you're gonna find that you're very low on capsules. And this one took a good amount of tries from me as well. And I guess I just got a fairly good round on this one. I don't know. The ending is really tough. It needs a lot of capsules, and you're gonna feel like you don't have enough to do it. But you're gonna want to get to that blue lock as fast as you can. There's some ice surrounding it. As long as you clear the viruses around that ice, you should get to it fairly quick. And then again, it's just a matter of clearing these things here. And blue coins start getting introduced. You got to clear all the ice and all the blocks and all the viruses away from the blue coins so you can get them. So as you're clearing viruses, you might as well make sure to clear the ice around them too, so you don't have to come back to those later. Now we're getting close to the part where we can get this final yellow lock. The thing is, the bottom left corner sometimes lines up where you can clear it, and sometimes it doesn't. And if it doesn't, you're probably not going to win. It's just that. And sometimes it lines up. For me, I got two blues next to each other, so it's going to work. But that's not always the case. So because there's that one little section there, you can bring some single capsules in there, which is what I'm about to do. So there's one, and then here's another one. And then I need one more blue single capsule. So I break one open right here. And now we can start working on the yellow lock, which is really important to get as soon as you can. It's going to take 3 hits since it's iced. Nice. It was nice of the game to have a yellow one right underneath, so it was really easy to get that first hit. I decided to go for that shell now. It really doesn't matter. And then I end up using this rainbow capsule to hit the blues and the yellow at the same time, which works out really nicely. And now that the yellow is open, you just clear the rest. And this is the nicest the stage has looked at this point for me. Most of the time there's a bunch of clutter, there's viruses not really near each other that are going to be really annoying to clear. But for me, in this round, everything was lined up really nicely. And I ended with 5 capsules remaining, which is really great. So we did it. And I got 3 stars because I brought in both point boosting assistants. I would highly recommend that just to make sure you get 3 stars. One more set of levels. Hopefully it goes well. I'll see you then. Goodbye.